actor, director, producer, a man of many parts, who's back home and obviously enjoying it. J. Oscar Simmons is live in the studio with me. Hello.
Hello, Lexis. What's going on, my brother?
Hey,
Thank you.
So good to have you.
Oh man, it's so good to be here. Thank you for having me, man. This is wonderful.
Welcome to the motherland.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And you obviously are having a good time. Guys,
wonderful.
listen, I'm so jealous right now. He walked in with a very lovely yellow African print shirt, and I wonder how he picked that out. Oscar, how did you pick this outfit out?
I know quality and class when I see it. Like I see you, I know that's quality and class. I want to be around, quality and class.
Bro, you picked the right outfit, man. That's a good one. You're looking good in it.
Thank you, man.
Looks like you're all soaked up in the Ghana thing, isn't it?
It's just amazing. I've heard about people saying once they get off the plane and they walk through the airport, just the feeling.
Yeah.
Especially Americans and African Americans, just the feeling of there's this weight that lifts.
Yeah.
Because we deal with a lot there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too heavy, but I felt it. I said, oh, and I was hoping I would feel it. And I said, oh, because everybody looks like me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
and that in itself is a weight. So yeah, it's just been just beautiful thereafter.
This is your first time in Africa?
My very first time in Africa. During the year of return, it was really popular in America to come.
Okay.
I couldn't make it then. I was doing a lot. I was working a lot, doing a lot of guest starring, co-starring roles in television.
Yeah.
And I'm also a pharmacist. So
you're a pharmacist.
I'm also a pharmacist. I'm also a pharmacist. So I was busy, just doing my thing in America. Yeah. So I didn't make it then. And
but wait, hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Let me just pause you right there. What were you hearing about the year of return? Around the time you were hearing all the things about, everybody wants to go to Ghana and return to the motherland. What were you hearing exactly? What was it?
Oh, my God. It was just, it was everywhere. It was on every major network in America, YouTube, all over the web. And what I was hearing was all positive, great. Some of what I just explained to you.
Yeah.
About just the feeling of joy and peace. There was some sorrow. Like I'm going to Cape Coast tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the mixture. It's a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions. And I said I want to feel that. I want to feel that. It's a part of our history, and I want to feel the good, the bad. I'm not sure how that makes me feel. I want to feel all of that. So I was hearing great things. That the country was beautiful. I remember watching a segment that Vanessa Williams did.
Okay.
And she was with LaShawn. LaShawn is a Broadway star, started in Color Purple when they first hit Broadway. And I watched their segment, and they want to start doing some theater and some things here. I said, okay, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm doing most of my acting in America, but I'm really want to reach out to other markets.
Okay.
So, I've been talking to KMJ about that, about reaching out to, agents and producers and what have you here. But wonderful things. We'll be here all day if I explain.
Yeah.
If I try to tell you everything. But it's all been good. The food, the people.
Yeah.
And the people, that's true. I've had nothing but joy.
Okay.
And being welcomed. Smiles, I'm sitting right in front of two of the best hosts, especially this
with
one.
KMJ.
I got KMJ. Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah. So great things, man. Wonderful things.
So why would you say it took you a long time to explore Africa? I know your business is in America. Yeah, you know about Africa. You probably have had stories about Africa.
So
what was it?
You want the truth. The truth, and I'm transparent, so I'm going to tell you the truth. It took me to get just a little bit older. I had some friends from high school, from college, who passed on. And I said, okay, I want to go back to the motherland before my number gets called. So before my number gets called, I'm racing with God. I'm like, hold on, I got to get to Africa. So it took me, and then when it started happening, and I said, you know what, I got to do this. I got to stop talking about it, and I got to just do it.
Okay.
Just go.
Okay.
And that's what took me. We get it when we get it.
Yeah.
It hits us when it hits us in life.
Yeah.
Some of us, it hits us early. Some of us, it hits us later. And it hit me, and I said, okay, that's it. June, me and my best friend who's outside, my fraternity brother.
Okay.
Kerry, he's out there. I said, we got to go. He said, let's go.
Wow.
And so it just, it just took me a minute.
Good
and,
stuff.
I was busy doing some stuff too, my own thing.
Yeah, I get
this
that.
was on my bucket list. So
It's interesting you talk about getting your number called, but you're actually growing in reverse. Look at you.
You
guys,
think so?
I mean,
You
get
think
on
so?
Facebook and see our video. He's looking like,
Bro.
I mean...
I don't know about reverse. Maybe some parts.
Yeah, I wasn't looking down. I wasn't Okay, so now you decided to come, and then for you, it's not just exploring. It's not just living the stories that you hear. It's also looking at business as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been, I keep my eye open. I've done a couple things. And I know most people want to hear about the acting and that, and I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But, I'm thinking about getting my pharmacy license here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've got 4 of them in the United States, in different states. But I want an international license. So I
Yeah.
thought about England, and I said, no. Somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
And so I'll be checking into that.
Okay.
Absolutely trying to broaden my acting scope.
Yeah.
Producing scope, which kind of appeals to me more so nowadays.
Yeah.
Producing Ruby Dee. Some of your listeners may know Ruby Dee. Ruby Dee was a very famous actress, African American actress in America. She's passed now, but I had a chance to go to dinner with her.
Ooh.
And years ago, she was doing a movie called Cop and a Half with Burt Reynolds. And we had dinner, and she said, Mr. Simmons, don't be an actor. So I was young, and I'm like, well, she's telling me not to be an actor. She's an actor. I want to be an actor. She said, She said, be a producer. Be a producer. And if you want to act in it, you can, because it's yours. So what she was basically telling me is to own.
To own it.
To
yeah.
own it. And if you want to act in it, then I'll put myself in it. And if not, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older and a little wiser, I understand totally what she was saying. So yes, absolutely looking into. I've got 2 or 3 shows, scripted television shows that
Right.
I have that I've been marketing in America.
Yeah.
I've got 2 or 3 films in my head. So yeah, I'm definitely open to business
Don't
ventures.
those 2 roles offer you different kinds of responsibilities? Because I'm thinking,
absolutely.
of course, if you're an actor, you probably just go deliver your lines and whatnot.
Yeah.
When you're a producer, you're responsible for a whole lot of other things.
They're both tough if you do them right, in their own respect.
Yeah.
So my number one joy in when I'm doing any type of show is acting. I love becoming another character and telling a story.
Right.
Producing is hard work. Producing is hard, and I'm sure you know that. Just making sure everybody's in their place to get your show up and running. I know KMJ knows it.
Yeah.
Just making sure everything is there. Who's late? Why aren't you here? Why didn't that happen? So that's tough. But I don't have to study any lines. I don't have to memorize. I don't have to worry about am I delivering this properly? Am I understanding the subtext, what's happening in this scene, so they're both different, but I love them both.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just joining in, I'm hanging out with an amazing producer and actor, J. Oscar Simmons, who's in Ghana for the first time, and catching up on why he's here and probably how he can actually establish here.
Yes.
We're setting up the Oscar Pharmacy soon.
slash acting school.
Oh, great. That would be nice as well. But I'm actually wondering how you're able to do that. I mean, because being in Hollywood is like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's tumultuous.
And that's a very good question. You good. You good, Lexis. Let me tell you, because I've gotten that question. It's like, and how do you practice pharmacy
Yeah.
and act? The thing is, it's hard. It's a juggle. I have to find pharmacy jobs. I've been doing pharmacy. I've been a pharmacist 34 years. My family owned a pharmacy in Florida, where I'm from.
Okay.
So I grew up in it, mopping the floors and all of that until I got licensed as a pharmacist. So I know that. I know it well. So the thing is getting with the right company that understands that I'm an actor.
Okay.
And once they understand that, I say, okay, this is how it works. I get a call for an audition. I may have to go in. Most of the times I can send it through my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I book the job, sometimes I have to be there the next day or 2 days later. Pharmacy, you got to have another pharmacist to take his place.
Yeah.
Can you find another pharmacist? I say all of this before I take the job. And the beauty is that we're in demand, pharmacists in America. We're really needed.
Yeah.
So we kind of have the leverage.
Yeah.
So I said, you need a pharmacist? Yeah. I said, okay, listen, are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm an actor.
Yeah.
You understand what that means? Yeah. I said, okay. And most of them, the job I have right now, I work in Brooklyn, New York. Mm-hmm. They understand. They support me.
Okay.
And most people do. Most companies, they're fascinated with the television industry, so they support me. And so it's been a juggle.
Yeah.
But it's worked out.
I mean, for them, it will be an added, bonus when a client walks in the company and they see that Hollywood star in there. I did not see you in the Haves and Haves Nots.
And I've gotten that. I've gotten that. Man, you look familiar.
Yeah.
Where do I know you from? And then once they do their research and, get on Facebook or whatever, they say,
you that guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
The Have and Have Nots.
Yeah.
One of your favorites?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Would you say?
That actually changed my life.
Really?
It changed my life. It was a big deal. And I told you I'm going to be transparent. I didn't know about that show.
Oh, you didn't?
All my friends did. They knew about it. I knew about it, but I hadn't really watched it.
Okay, yeah.
And I auditioned. I got the role. I went down. And by then, they were doing a marathon of all the have and have-nots. I said, perfect timing.
Okay.
So before I go on set, I'll know what it is.
Yeah.
So I started with the very first show, watched it, and I said, oh, I get why it's addictive.
Yeah.
It's addictive how Tyler Perry has written this.
Yeah.
Keeps you hanging on.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, and I started, and I got into it, and I said, okay, I'm ready. We shot in Atlanta. I went down and stayed with my best friend. He lives in Atlanta. Stayed with him. Got on set. And a funny story is we rehearsed the lines with the other three actors who were regulars on the show. We rehearsed the lines, and something happened on the set, and everyone disappeared.
Oh.
And I was just standing there by myself. And I looked up, and there was Tyler Perry. It was just he and I in the room. I said, oh, crap. I'm sitting there with TP by myself.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, it's my shot.
Yeah.
I said, Mr. Perry, I'm Oscar Simmons. I'm playing your funeral home director. He said, oh, hey, Oscar, hey, bye. He shook my hand. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful experience. He took us under. He was like, okay, slow it down. Do this, do that, do that. Oscar, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, he's calling my name. Okay,
That's a
like
good
that.
one.
Yeah, I'm like, I like this. I
Yeah.
like this. And I thought I was only shooting that one scene until we were done, and I was in my dressing room changing, getting ready to go home.
Yeah.
And the assistant comes in and says, okay, here's your script for tomorrow. I said, what? I was like, oh, God, I got one day to learn whatever's in this script.
Yeah.
And so I'm flipping through looking for a funeral director, and I'm flipping through the script. I said, okay, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, I can get this. I said, okay, so I get to come back. So it was a wonderful experience. He's, oh, my God, that studio in Atlanta is amazing.
The Tyler Perry Studios.
Oh, my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of what he's done, what he's doing for actors, what he's done for the industry.
Right.
He's a wonderful guy.
I don't think the Tyler Perry Studios is really just for film. It's a testament for the black race,
Absolutely.
for the black community.
Absolutely.
Tell me how that particular investment has changed the fortunes of black actors and people like you.
The mere fact that it's an African American or black man
Yeah.
doing it in America on that scale changed the entire game for black actors, producers, writers, costume, everything, every gamut, that every aspect of telling a story. It changed because he tells it himself better, but he stuck to his guns. Tyler Perry started with his own little plays in Atlanta, and he'll tell you the story how no one would show up, how he slept in his car, but as God would have it, and he'll tell you in a heartbeat that it was God, God put his hand on it, and things just started changing.
Yeah.
And here comes Oprah. Here comes this person. Everyone who can, all the angels.
Yeah.
Kind of saying, hey, here you go. And it took off. It's changed quite a bit. I mean, he's given what I've noticed personally about the actors in his shows or productions are some of those actors I grew up watching, and then they disappeared. They weren't relevant. Most people would think anymore.
Yeah.
But I said, I remember this actor. So he's given a lot of those actors a second chance.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of them. And I love that because it lets you know to never stop because you just don't know when you're going to get that chance.
And interestingly, I see the likes of 50 Cent also following suit because I think recently he also opened some G-Unit studios or something of the sort.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And that's really good for the industry.
I did one show, 50 Cent produces, For Life.
Okay,
For Life.
Oh, okay.
And Nicholas Pinnock, he's from England, was the lead actor. Wonderful actor. And in between takes, I had a chance to sit and just talk to Nicholas. 50 wasn't there, so I didn't get the chance to meet him. But Nicholas was wonderful, and we sat there, and I told him basically the whole story I'm telling you now about me being a pharmacist.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, why don't you just quit the pharmacy job for a minute and just act? I said, I don't know about that, Nicholas. I'm like, he's like, what's the worst thing that could happen? You have to go back to pharmacy, which ain't so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right. It's what am I holding on to? I got that. It's done. It's there.
Yeah.
So basically he's telling me to go full throttle.
Yeah.
Leave that alone. Put all the energy into acting. And that's a 50 Cent show. So.
Well, I tell you what, if you actually moved to Ghana, there are a few sugar daddy roles we're going to get for you.
Okay.
The beard
I'm
qualifies
a good
for
sugar
that.
daddy, too.
the white beard qualifies.
I got you, brother. I hope so. I'm ready. We're going to do something together.
But tell me, which of these, because you were in many hats. You were in the pharmacy hat, the acting hat, the producing hats.
Yeah.
Which of these really makes you more fulfilled? I mean, if you look at your life and the way you've been acting, it makes you more fulfilled.
Period.
Acting, not pharmacy.
Let me tell you where it started. I did an acting internship, and that's something that I want a lot of listeners to understand. Those who want to get into acting or producing, especially the younger people. When I did KMJ's show the other night, a young lady approached me after the show and said she wanted to get into acting. I get that all the time. This is what I say. I love acting. I did an acting internship under Kenny Leon in Atlanta, Georgia at the Alliance Theater. That's where I learned the craft. When I first got into television, I just wanted to be famous. Like a lot of young people. I want to sign autographs, ride in limousines, and put on shades. But when I started studying, I said, ooh, this is hard. This is hard. This is interesting. This is, this is really a craft. And once I got into it and started learning the craft of acting is when I said, okay, I love this. Because what happens, Lexis, is I become someone else. I've been with Oscar 57 years. I know Oscar. But when I truly become Lexis, because I'm playing Lexis in a movie, and I've studied Lexis, and I've studied how Lexis responds to KMJ with a question. But I ask the same question, and I get a different tone or response. Why? That's not in the script. There's a subtext. And that is the interesting part, like learning you. and portraying you or being you is what we like to say in acting.
Yeah.
Don't portray, don't pretend, don't try to be Lexis. Just be Lexis.
Right.
And that's when it comes across. And the camera doesn't miss a beat. The camera doesn't blink. So don't worry about the camera. It's all from here.
Yeah.
And what comes from here, the camera's going to catch.
Wow.
So all the young actors, I like to say this, and let me say this, please. All the young actors, you have to do the work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not just if you get a lucky break and you haven't done the work, you may not sustain long. You need to know your craft and study. The greats, Angela Bassett, Denzel, they still study. I still study. You know, you're never done learning. I still study in pharmacy. You know, you never stop learning. And the more you study, you see how things change and how the craft of acting changes.
Yeah.
So I love that.
We talked about the covert, benefits, and like you rightly said, what makes you feel. Let's talk about money. Which made you more money? I see the look on your
Now
face.
you trying to get in my bank account. I don't tell many people about my bank account.
Which is more worth it financially?
No comment.
I mean,
Let me
listen,
tell you.
tell
Okay. Let me
signs of
answer
good
it like this, Lexis. Let me answer it like this.
Yeah.
Pharmacy is a wonderful profession.
Yeah.
Pays me very well. I can take trips to Ghana first class.
Okay.
Okay, I can travel the world. I can do things that a lot of people don't get to do, and it's a blessing. I'm not being arrogant or bragging.
I understand.
It's truly a blessing because it took a lot of work to get my pharmacy degree too. Acting pays very well too. I got two, as my mom would say, I've got two good jobs.
You're one lucky fella, brother.
I got two good jobs, and I don't want to leave them, either of them. But acting pays very well. And truthfully, I do a lot of guest starring and co-starring roles, which means I'll dip in for 2 or 3 days and I'll dip out.
Yeah.
I'm not a regular on the show.
Right.
And I kind of like that. If I get offered something that I like, and I'll take it. Probably,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I will. But I dip in and I dip out, and just dipping in and dipping out pays me nicely.
Yeah.
I can just imagine what the regulars are getting, especially.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Perry has talked about it himself. Tyler, he said he's made a lot of millionaires.
Yes.
And he has.
Yeah.
So it pays well.
I'm sure it
But
does.
it pays well to those who do the work.
Yeah.
And who are good.
No, this is good stuff, and
Yeah,
we're learning
yeah.
a lot from you. I'm so glad that we got to share in your journey, honestly. And we're actually hoping that we can actually work with you here in Ghana as well, so
Love
you can
to.
actually help to raise some good actors.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Hopefully, I can kickstart my acting career with.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
got you. Yeah, you take my workshop. I won't charge
it?
you, but I'll give you a discount.
Is it?
Yeah, I got
Sure
you.
about that?
I got you, brother.
All right. Pen and paper, please. Let's sign the deal. But as we wrap up, though, I'd want you to share with, there are a lot of young people who look up to you as well. If you have any advice you want to share with them.
Absolutely. And I kind of just hit on it already. Be prepared to do the work.
Right.
In anything in life. To get to a certain level that you may want to achieve, it took a lot of work for you to get there.
Absolutely.
It took a lot of work for him to get there. It took a lot of work for me to get here. It takes work for her to get there.
Yeah.
It takes work. Be prepared to do the work. Anything that's worth having is worth working for.
Right.
So don't get in there and get blindsided with all the lights, the cameras, and the actions.
Yeah.
Because what really goes on behind the scene is I got on a T-shirt, some shorts, and some flip-flops, and I'm sitting at a desk, and I'm just turning my phone off, and I don't look like this.
Yeah.
I'm studying. Who is this character? What is this about? What is he really saying in this? And then if I get stuck, then I reach out. So you have to be prepared to do the work. So young people, do the work, be prepared, study your craft, and you'll be okay. You'll be fine.
Barrington Levy actually has a song called Work. Everybody must work.
Yeah.
Work harder. Thank you so much, Oscar.
Thank you,
Great
Lexis.
hanging out with you.
Thank
It's
you,
been
brother.
So
Thank you so much.
Good having you here.
pleasure being
and,
here.
It'll be good to stay in touch, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
J.
Thank you.
Oscar Simmons here on Joy 99.7 FM. Thanks a lot to my man KMJ as well for pulling it off. Stay tuned in. The news coming up at 5, and then afterwards there's more right here on Drive Time.
Everybody must work hard.